and welcome to A Celtic World North America. We're a YouTube channel that puts the spotlight on the worldwide Celtic support. On this show, we try to bring some of North American perspective to what's going on at Celtic. And tonight, like last week, we get to introduce a new American CSC and a couple of new American Tims, which we always love to do. So last week, there was a lot of discussion on the show as to why it was taking so long to formally announce Martin as the manager, and they finally did it the next day after the show. I think they listened to us.
Good thing. Oh,
yeah. Good to get that out of the way, but now it's, what's going on with the rest of the coaching staff, and Celtic moves at a, glacial pace as always. So I guess it's not surprising. So we're talking more about the Celtic offseason and a bit about the World Cup probably. But first, let's, like I said, talk about a new CSC down at the Jersey Shore. I guess it's up at the Jersey Shore for me now. I usually say down the shore, but so first things first. Chris, how we doing?
Doing all right. It's good stuff.
How's things in Tennessee?
They're happening. It's kind of warm, summertime. Snakes have been minimal, so it's a good day.
That's good. And then we got two guys on from, like I said, the Jersey Shore CSC, Steve and Ed. Welcome, guys. It's good to finally get you on. Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. I know it's me and Steve at least, about trying to make this happen. So I'm glad we, finally got it done. Before we get into it, we always try to get into your Celtic origin story, but let me just throw up some of the comments just to. We had the guys were in even before we started the show. 420, he's always with us. So hell 420. And then Milky Moo's always in there too. 420. So cheers, boys. Thanks for getting in there. And like I said, we'd always start off with you guys, because everybody, particularly over here, I think kind of has a different story as to how they got into Celtic. So, I'll go with you first, Steve. You're the prez of the club, recently elected. So, how did you come about to become a Celtic supporter?
I have family in Scotland. Some of them were split. Rangers, Celtic. Always gravitated more to the Celtic side. But I grew up in Kearney, New Jersey. I only left last year. So just it was always Celtic in my blood. I don't even know. It's just my aunts and uncles. Just you get down to the Irish and watch the games, and the older I got, when you're young, you don't go so much. But then as the older you got, as your playing days were over or you had other obligations, I started taking my kids, and that's it. It's just I don't know anything else. I don't have another team. There's no second team. There's no third team. It's Celtic. So I've been a member. I was a member of the Kearney City for a very, very long time until we started this. I still pay my dues in Kearney. 1963, the Mother Club. If it wasn't for the Mother Club, I don't know how many other clubs exist in the United States, right? So they're the first one, and they're still around. They're still around. Brian Toll, their president, does a phenomenal job keeping them together and keeping them up and running, and growing up and going to the games there. We talked before the show. You'd get 70 people at a game. Back of the Irish, the big movie screen down, projecting it on there, and the guys that started it beforehand. You got Huey O'Neill's dad was involved in the club. Guys like Owen Higney, God rest his soul, and Jimmy Barker, and the names go on. And unfortunately, most of them aren't with us anymore. But the legacy carries. The club has a lot of members, but the guys that go and watch the games probably just few and far between. But the guys that do go watch the game are Celtic through and through. And I hope that it continues on and that the numbers come up a little bit there. But a lot of people move away and they move to the Jersey Shore, like I did. A lot of other Carneites. And when I first met Ed in Darcy's a few years ago, always coming down to my best friend married my wife's best friend. So They built a big house. We came down every weekend. I met them at Darcy's. I promised them if I moved down, we start a club. And I wanted to keep my promise for some of the older guys that were hanging out in Darcy's. And there's only a couple of them that we'd get it going, and we didn't know it would explode like it did and take off. And we're happy about it. And it's been nothing but a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, my cousin that left today was over for the World Cup, actually played for the Celtic Academy until he broke his leg and was sold to Aberdeen and then sold on the Leeds.
Wow.
Then he packed as a young man. So, yeah, good stuff.
I like this from 420. Steve, I hope you disowned your Rangers side of the family.
I will say I've been to Scotland a lot since 1987, and I ran into them in 1987, and I have not seen from them since.
So you kind of did, maybe.
Yeah.
That's funny. Ed, how about you? What was your start into following Celtic?
Celtic for me was just visiting Ireland. Some of the pubs that I gravitated towards, there'd be a match on, and you kind of get involved with it. And then you get home, and there's really no place to watch the matches unless it's a really big game. I would venture over to Corny every once in a while for a big Rangers match. And then my job in Marlborough, New Jersey, they closed the hospital I was working at, so I got transferred to Trenton, and there is a Trenton club. I found out about that, would show up every once in a while. And after a while, I joined that club. We lost our spot at the Hibernian Club in Hamilton. Then we moved to McMenamin's in Trenton. And much like Steve's Carney Club, a lot of the people in there were elderly people. I mean, on a Saturday or Sunday morning, it was 70 and 80-year-old people, and, with a smattering of younger people. And then the club just fell away. And so we were watching at Darcy's Tavern for a while. There, we were always accommodated at Darcy's, but we always had the dream of getting a bigger club, something more well organized than me calling the bartender the night before and saying, any chance of us getting a TV tomorrow? A big Arsenal bar. And then Liverpool kind of took over for a couple of years. But now that we've got 30 and 40 people, I mean,
Liverpool's not happy with us.
Good.
They're not happy.
That's just it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I know I like Trent. I was telling you guys beforehand, like Trenton's like close to me, and I actually never got over there. I know some of the guys who I hang out with here, and we were talking about some of them. Like I know they go over there. Like, and
We'll
Chris,
say hi to
like Vinny, like Chris, Vinny.
Oh yeah.
I feel like everybody knows Vinny. Vinny's one of those guys who
he makes himself known.
Yeah, he does. He's almost like world famous. Maybe not John Joe world famous, but Vinny is he's a character. Like I feel like everybody knows John Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess leading in then, like to your like you said, like it kind of feeds into the desire to get that CSC up and running, and like there's like we had those places around here like over the years where it wasn't an official CSC. It was just a couple guys who, text a few guys, yo, you want to meet at this bar? And I know we can watch Celtic there or something like that. But like to make it something bigger and more official and, like where you're, actually starting a group. It's a challenge to, get it up and running. So like good for you guys for, taking that challenge on. But like, I guess, so when was your official, I would say, like where you came up with the name, the crest? That was this year. So you guys are brand new.
That's all. I mean, he's very creative with the AI.
So I moved down here in July. So it was right around October. We were in a couple games in September, and right around October, I was like, you know what, we're going to do this. So I sat home one day, just tinkering around with AI, giving it things. I knew the logo that I wanted to do. I'm not so artistic. So I knew I wanted something that represented the, Irish Catholic. I wanted something that represented the shore. And I wanted something that wasn't typical of a lot of the clubs. No offense to anybody. And I just didn't want to use Celtic's logo and some crisscross flags. So playing around for about a day, being retired and bored in the new house, I came up with the logo, and I thought it was pretty good, and I ran it by the guys before we did anything. I brought the logo, I texted it out to them. I said, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And they were like, "That's awesome. That looks great. You got to get the seagulls in there, you got to get the big wave in there, and then you have the Irish cross in there." And I was like, it's perfect. And nothing fancy, just green and white, just basic. Let the logo speak for itself. And we liked it. And one of our members, Dave Schofield, has a good friend that has a shirt business. He says, "I can get that done." We said, "Awesome." In the meantime, I had some shirts made up just to get the logo out, and stickers, a lot of stickers. We did a lot of stickers just to get the word out. And so right around October, it started to kick, and guys started to buy the shirts off Dave. We had a quick turnaround. I got the box of shirts in, which I basically mimicked the one sticker we made saying where we met. And then I'm sitting down the one day, oddly enough, I'm like, "Oh, we got to get a nickname. Like, everybody's got to have a nickname. A lot of the CSCs in Scotland, and you got the Mother Club of Kearney, the Fenian Boys in New York City, and we were playing some music in the yard, and the Beach Boys came on, and I was like, there's nothing better than the Beach Boys, man. We're right on the beach, Bradley Beach." So we came up with the nickname. Everybody had a laugh about it and said it was good, and that was it. And I got one scarf left that I'm going to send out to California. I was messaged. I just was on the computer last Thursday, getting ready to place another order for scarves. Our secretary, Pat, has an idea for a shirt. I said, run with it. The design is good. Just do what you want to do. And we're kind of like, I wanted it to be a club that wasn't so organized that we don't have fun. We got to have fun. I've been in a club where you're not allowed to do anything, or you got to wait for the elders, president. No go. We're at the beach. It's laid back. Let's have a good time. I mean, our bar, you walk a quarter mile, you run right into Bradley Beach. You know what I mean? So, let's just have a good time. And the flag that I made that's behind Ed was just something fun. We did something beachy, something different, something to put up that's recognizable and separates us, that, hey, we have a good environment. It's a good atmosphere. And the messages started to flow. Guys, we're stickers in Aruba. We're sitting watching a game, and one of our members, Steve, goes to Italy, and another member, the cousin, is in Italy, and says, "There's a Jersey Shore CSC sticker at this bar I'm at in Italy."
That's awesome.
And it's great. So, it's really taken off, and a lot of the transplants from Kearney and northern New Jersey and New York, guys that have shore houses that didn't know where to watch the game early in the year when the wives want to come down on the weekend. And the numbers just exploded. So we said, it's time. We got to have a meeting and get some organization together. And the one thing I feel we have is time. We're not going to make the right decision all the time, but we have time to iron it out. Whether we choose, start having guys pay dues, it's on the table. We might, but we don't have overhead at the bar. Tommy McGill, owner, he carries all the overhead and doesn't want a penny from us. He just wants us to come and eat and drink and have a good time. And I have to tell you, some of the other supporters there that come watch their teams, because you can get any footy game on at Darcy's. Game's over, they're out. Celtic supporters linger, man. We don't leave. We have a good time.
Right.
We're good.
Yeah, we always say that.
We're always good to the people that take care of us, and it's been just a really, really fun atmosphere. Scarves up and singing at the bar, starting all the songs, and we get no flack, no friction. It's been nothing but a good time. And we just want our people to keep coming out, our members to keep coming out. We started out with 15 names on an email list. I'm up to 54.
Nice.
And we got
That's great.
Once tomorrow they announce the schedule, we're going to have a meeting because we want to do an event. We've already talked to the Fenian Boys and Sean. I've been in touch with a girl who actually, I go to a Philadelphia Phillies game. I'm in a box for Pannoni Engineering. and he's one of the ambassadors.
Oh, I
And
know who does.
yeah, and I had on my Grateful Dead, my Steely with the Celtic logo in it, and we started talking, and I said, "Hey, we're gonna invite everybody down. We're gonna do one of the later games and sit outside in the tent. We'll sit out in the tent, have a day, and we'll get a Fenian band on and have a good time, you know. And we could do that in August or early September, where people can come down, maybe get an Airbnb and enjoy the Jersey Shore, and come out and watch a game and have some fun. That's what it's about. I mean, supporting Celtic is your highs and your lows, and
Yeah, dude, I love that. That's a great.
But we show up
No.
every, for the good or bad. We show up every Sunday as Celtic supporters, no matter where you are, and you know we get aggravated with the team, but they're our team and we love them. You know.
Yeah, cool. Let me throw up the flag because Milky Moo, or not your flag, your crest. Milky Moo was asking for it, which is cool. Like, and I have a few of these stickers. You sent them to me, which I appreciate. And I have your scarf hanging in my bar. Again, love it. And then the flag. This is one of your guys' flags. I think you guys do probably have more than one, but
we have two. We're working on like another 2 or 3.
oh, do I? Yeah, this one. I have this one too. So
yeah.
But yeah, and like, let me get my screen fixed up here. Get everything right. Here we go. So like in terms of like your numbers, I think we talked before. Like, you know, it started small, but like towards the end of the season, it sounded like you guys, and from pictures, and we've posted a few on the screen here, like you guys were getting really good crowds. Like at the end of the season, like what were your numbers?
Ed goes to a Preakness trip every year with his college buddies, and I'll let him tell the story. He didn't go this year.
Yeah, well, it was a big. They understand, and actually, they watched at my buddy. We usually stay at my buddy and his wife's house in Annapolis, and my buddy Brian, he went and kind of explained that, you know, Celtics in the championship game. Well, it was a championship game, and that I didn't want to miss it, but I'm gonna miss it. So it's like that, and then to show up for the game, and I haven't seen kids at a 7:00 match in like years. It's got to be 10 years since I went to a club, and there were actually kids running around. It felt good to have that many people there.
Yeah,
that like, picture I sent you under the outside tent, that's after we arts, and it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think I have that one still. Is that this one, like on the tent? That's another one. And then this was another really good one. Like,
it's just the way it's grown, fun. Everybody say, you can see it on their faces, like the good time they're having. It's great to get a pat on the back and an accolade. But okay, I did a lot of work, but it's everybody that shows up. You do it because, like, you stop doing it if nobody comes. But if it wasn't for Ed and sitting and meeting Ed and talking to Ed and Jimmy Barker, who's a carny transplant, and David Schofield, and these guys that have been down here long before I got set foot here, I really wanted to do it for them because I thought they were great guys, and they were very gracious to me when I started watching games. I was at one end of the bar by myself, and they're waving me down to come sit with them. I knew Jimmy, but I didn't know Ed. I didn't know Dave. And I coached college soccer at Georgian Court University here in Lakewood, New Jersey. And Dave actually was our photographer the first year before I coached, when my son was a freshman playing there. Dave was the photographer, and I didn't realize I'd met him. And to get embraced and then be down on holiday and then be able to come over and these guys are at the games and know somebody to sit with, I was like, you know, do it for them, because when it's good, it's good. When you have something going good with Celtic, it's good. Listen, we had a terrible team this year. It's probably not the best time in the world to start a CSC, but maybe it was the best season to start a CSC, especially
the way it ended up.
It was a roller coaster.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we joked. Like, was this the best year for us to start doing a podcast? Because I mean, it got better, but I mean, it was pretty bleak every week. Like, and it was very negative and almost like you felt like we would get more people watching as it got worse. Like, I think because people wanted to,
Yeah.
I guess, hear people bitch about it and then get in the comments and, get their own say into how bad things were going. But then at the end, and like, I think Chris, you kind of kept the faith, and I think I tried to keep the faith to a point.
I mean, well, so for me, like, I'm always going to be sort of the keep the faith kind of person. And that's just kind of my own way that I handle watching Celtic and all of the ebb and flow. A lot of my, I won't say Celtic mentors, but the people that I've been closest to that have developed with Celtic, that far outweigh my experience with being actually at in Glasgow. It shaped me in the way that, like, you can have a bad season and you don't have to get rid of all of your friends and enjoy doing those things. And I think that there's so many people that they may not watch a club that has all of the extra stuff that Celtic brings, like an Arsenal, right? So, like, if there's a supporters club and they're going every week, and Arsenal isn't doing very good and they're terrible and whatever, like, it just kind of falls apart, right? Like, it's just a good time, Charlie. I'm gonna go and watch the match and not really get past that. But if you want something that has depth to it, you can't continually be, oh God, the sky is falling and the world's collapsing because Rio Atati can't make a pass. Like, there's a certain extent that you've got to look at it and go, I know that things are not as great as they should be, as the standard that we set, but you still clock in week after week, because Celtic brings something to the table that no other club in the world does. And exactly to your point, this is having supporters that get together and watch a match together. There's nothing, we do it because it's fun, and there's this shared ethos that we all have in watching Celtic, and that's what makes it so much more fun to watch. So you just have to outweigh those things. But Sean, to your point, yeah, I mean, it was negative most of the season, but and I'm guilty of it too. But at the same time, I think there's a level that you have to get to where you have to say, it's going to be okay regardless. Whether this was the year to start a podcast or a CSC or whatever, it's probably the best time, because that means that you're doing something.
Yeah. Oh, in the end,
yeah.
I mean, we had fun with it, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
We're still doing it. We're still doing it in the off season.
This is episode 50.
Our 2 trophies.
This is episode 50.
Our secretary Pat, his brother, never watched an organized soccer game on TV ever. Showed up for the Hearts game, first one he's ever watched. Ended up hugging Pat, hugging me. I think he was hugging Ed. Said, "That's it. I'm a Celtic supporter. I will be back." He goes, "I will be coming back." We were laughing. I think, well, you picked a good game. You picked a real good game to show. It was growing up.
It was a microcosm of the season, that Hearts game.
Absolutely.
Really, like, when you think about it, the late winners kind of is what put us over the line in the end, and then just the way it finished, obviously, was like iconic. Like, and
there's nothing better. I think every other day I play "Hey There You" with the sad face. Just because I'm elated. It's great.
Yeah.
I've been blessed in my being a supporter of Celtic, being an ambassador to players from Kearney. Like, I got to take George McCluskey and his wife shopping. I got to drive Bertie Alden around. I was just showing Ed behind me there. is an autographed jersey of Martin O'Neill that I won at an auction at the Carney Irish American. I have a photograph of myself and a friend, and the auctioneers were Bertie All, Tom Hall, and Billy McNeil. On the back of that, I have their signatures, and they were have roots back to Carney. They played their preseason in 1967 there against Man U and the Carney Scots-Irish pick team. And Jenke got sent home because he was having too good a time. Jock Steen on the way. The players that I've been exposed to, a good friend of mine, Gordon McClellan, who owns a box. I was able to go up in the box a few times, visiting Scotland at games and, meeting some of the players. Joey Miller, got to have lunch across from Alex Ferguson, who actually has cousins in Carney. That I met Kevin Bridges, and you see, I run into George McCluskey there, and they know your name, and you talk to them. I've been blessed with.
That's great. You guys are like freezing up on us a little bit, but can you hear us?
Uh-oh. They froze.
Let me stick up a comment, and this is like from Cassandra, and this is completely true.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about that, and we talked about it last week, I think, in particular. And we lost Steve and Ed. Hopefully they can get back with us. But yeah, that's 100% true. And
Thanks. So yeah, you can hear us, right, Chris?
Chris, you can hear us?
Now we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, door shuts down in my basement and the Wi-Fi.
we lost you for a bit, but yeah, like we talked about this last
Sean,
week.
you got us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Did he?
I can hear you. I was just kind of plowing through.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, you guys are definitely having technical problems.
Yeah. Chris was cutting in and out.
Yeah. Why don't you guys drop
I was at the
off?
Barcelona game last February. Got to stay and see the Cup game against Dundee United. It's the connections we've made, and now it's tattooed on my body. So.
As soon as you do that, I've been trying to convince Sean to make that jump into tattoos.
Can you see Sean?
I know.
Is Sean on?
Literally. I'm here. Can you guys hear me? Wow, we're all fucked up right now. I was literally talking to my son today because he's an art major and going into college, and I'm like, I've been telling him forever like he needs to design me a tattoo, but I just can't get him motivated to actually do it. Guys, why don't you drop off, like close down and
hold on? I think they hold on. Check it now.
Can you? You guys good?
I can see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry for.
So I just got a text from Pat. As a matter of fact, that someone scraped our sticker off the window at Darcy's. I said, "Well, go inside. They have more. Go put another one on." That's definitely that's today because there was a lot of England fans there when we played Croatia. So I'm sure,
right.
Which that's okay.
They saw your social media post with the Darcy's. With the
got another
the Croatia colors crest.
Yeah. Well, we're Celtic. There's not much they can do about that, is there?
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of, and you guys kind of mentioned it, like your aspirations for like what you want to become. I feel like you guys kind of had a meteoric rise in a half a season. So like where to take it from here, because you're in a good spot, like location wise, in terms of like you got the beach spot, so you're gonna get like the touristy crowd, and then it seems like you guys you pull in you have a regular crowd, and you got that Carney connection too. So you guys got a lot going on for you. I feel like in terms of building something big.
Ed and I are there a couple days a week. We like it so much. It's home away from home.
It's the best pub in the area. It is.
It's the food is fantastic. You can get a really good breakfast, a really good lunch, a great dinner. The staff there, I know Ed and I talk about it. You can't ask for better staff. They're awesome. They're just great to us, and they're great to everybody. I mean, you go in there and you feel good, you know. And Tommy, the owner, he's just a footy guy. He just loves football.
Yeah.
He played it in college. You know, he's just one of those guys that if you don't like Tommy, maybe there's something wrong with you. You know what I mean? Guys, you know.
I say that about Chris. So
What? Yeah.
but no, you could tell like I mean, it looks like there's like 1,000 different scarves like hanging on the ceiling, and it's definitely embraced the football pub kind of feel, which is cool.
If you come in and want to watch a match, they'll do everything in their power to put it on.
Yeah.
You'll get at least one. You mightn't have sound, and we've been through that too because, you know, full bar Arsenal supporters, we're not getting sound. But now we have the numbers, and the rule is if, you know, you're there first and you've got more people, you're going to get the sound, unless it's an Arsenal match, and then because that is an official Arsenal bar, and we understand that. Occasionally they'll split up the sound between the one end of the bar and the other end of the bar, which is good. It's very accommodating. Very accommodating.
The president of the Jersey Shore Gooners is much like, you know, he kind of just tripped over Arsenal a few years ago. He actually told me a story. He was playing with his band in Scotland, and he's actually down by Govan not knowing. And he wanted to buy like a Celtic top and a shirt, and he approached somebody, and he got a Ranger supporter, and he got cursed out. Like, what are you doing here, pal? I was laughing. He told me, he was like, how did that happen? Yeah, you're in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, you need to have a tour guide to make sure you're in the right spot when you're doing shit like that. I know that's Chris, you've had that with I remember Belfast Joe.
Like, yeah, that day that he took us around and then dropped us off at the Rock, and we were staying in the city center, and I don't remember who it was. It was either my mom or my wife or somebody. They said something about like, "Oh, we should do da da da," and I was like, "No, we're in the wrong neighborhood for where
the Rock closed now. The Rock closed.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I almost didn't believe it there for a minute because I was like, "There's no way," but yeah, it something to do with the lease and something else. So that's a damn shame because that was a phenomenal pub to be at.
That was my favorite in Belfast.
Yeah, easily.
I missed the
I think
chance.
Patty McCourt, the owner of that place. I think Patty McCourt owned the Rock Bar.
Huh.
I didn't know that. Not the building.
Yeah.
No. Right.
I didn't know that either. That's crazy.
On the bar. Wow. Well, I mean, good luck getting it going. And like I said, it's work getting it up and started. And we've talked to a bunch of guys this season and just over the years, guys who I know run clubs. So I mean, just like the Sean Kelly from Detroit and Sean Finn in Pittsburgh, they're like in their, 5th and 6th years running their clubs. And obviously, and that's in a bigger city and it's probably got a different vibe, but like it's work. It's definitely work making it and trying to build it. And I know both those guys put a lot of effort into making their club bigger and, just always trying to publicize it and find new members and just preach preach the word of Celtic. And so good for you guys.
Like your podcast is big. The social media for us, once I did X and Facebook and Instagram, was really exploded. And Brian put out a post on the Kearney CSC, which they have a lot of followers, about how, hey man, there's a club in Bradley Beach, and man, that really, really helped. I called Brian immediately. I said, Brian, within, a day of use, I got like 25, 30 messages about, didn't know you had a club. I live close by. I grew up here. I grew up there. I'm a Celtic supporter. I'm like, can I come? Yeah, everybody's welcome. If you're a Celtic supporter, everybody's welcome. We're never going to tell anybody. Plus, the owner would never allow us to tell anybody. That bar is open for everybody. So we want you to come. I get messages all the time. Is it all right if I come watch a game with you? I'm like, okay, I don't know you, but I'd be mad at you if you don't. You know?
Yeah.
Come,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna make every effort I can to get up there probably for next season at this point, obviously. But I don't even know. It might be closer for me to come from Bucks County than it is from coming down from Wildwood, because like I go down, like we were talking, I go to kind of have two clubs a little bit, the Plowboys in Philly, and then the Anglesey down in Wildwood, down at the South Jersey Shore. You guys are a little further up north.
How far of I mean, because I've been to New Jersey once in my life. What's the difference between like Wildwood and
it's
an
hour and 40 minutes, I think it looked when I looked it up last time.
Yeah, Wildwood's down near the southern tip of the state. We're kind of like central east.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That could be a 2-hour ride down to Wildwood, easy past Atlantic City.
Depending on the traffic, on the park or the parkway there.
We're probably 55, 60 miles south of New York City.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, so interesting. It's mostly Spring Lake, and Ed can correct me. He grew up down here. He lives in Avon. I live in Neptune City. And
I didn't grow up down here.
No.
Been here 36 years.
Oh, listen, you're here longer than me. Well, I was told recently by my neighbors I'm a local now. I'll hate the traffic in the summer. I'm better than Benny. You know, I've already had one property tax increase, so I'm embedded in.
Is it super busy in the wintertime there, or is it like just kind of a locals only?
I would say like Asbury Park is still pretty busy on the weekends, but no, the summer's definitely more busy. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of seasonal people. I mean, there's a lot of seasonal people where there's no
100%
in those houses.
Yeah. Wildwood's the same seasonal. And the Anglesey, again, like I said, they'll even in the winter when it's kind of dead, they're one of the few bars that stays open all year down there. But they'll open up probably for a bigger Celtic match if it's a cup final, cup semifinal, definitely like Rangers, sometimes European matches, like they'll open for those kind of things. But they're not 7 a.m. kickoff if it's not a Rangers game. Probably not.
Right.
Chances are, but I hate to say it, but it's true.
We're here at 6:35 waiting for that door to open.
So, but that's what I always said. Like, that's you need to be open every week, I think, to be.
Darcy's will stay open till 2 every night. I mean,
okay.
Open. There's very few bars in the area that will stay open until closing.
Yeah. I did get approached as the numbers started to grow and the social media came out. I won't say by who, but I got approached by another bar saying, "Hey, we'll make you a deal if you come here." And I'm like,
"Oh wow,
you'll make me a deal? There's no deal made. Our door was wide open. Like, I'm not leaving. Would never leave. Tommy, I consider Tommy a friend of mine now. Like, I would never, ever in a million years do that. He's a member of our club. As far as I'm concerned, that's our home until Tommy tells us to get out.
They can say that, but he's shown it over the years.
Yeah, he's excellent. It's nice that other people want you, but no thanks.
Well, they want you when you're big.
Yeah. Oh shit! Oh my God, they spend money, those guys. and girls. You say girls a lot. We've got a lot of female members that show up. Believe it or not, we do. So that which is excellent. And like Ed said, to see kids in there, like 5, 6, 7 kids wearing the Celtic strip through the family.
That was nice.
Great stuff. And that's actually the McGuire family. The dad was an ex-president of the Jimmy McGuire, God rest his soul. He died last year. Pretty popular with the North American Federation. Those are the grandkids that come decked out and watch the games, and it's excellent. It's awesome. They have Celtic pajamas. That game, they didn't even get out of their pajamas. They just wore their pajamas to the bar because they looked great.
I used to take my kids down to the Plow and to Fido in Philly, but they're not as into it now. So not that they were even into it then. It was me kind of, I'll buy you breakfast. I'll buy you an Irish breakfast if you come to watch the game with me, and they would jump all over that. So
I was
but
lucky.
yeah,
My
those
kids,
are the days.
my oldest, he still lives in Kearney. My other guy lives out western New Jersey, but my daughter here, and my daughter's a member, and she shows up.
Oh yeah.
You know, she loves it, and she was bitten by the bug very young, but we took her 2 years ago. She was able to go with my buddy Gordon and I, and she sat upstairs and got to see the Aberdeen game, and she loved it. And then she was out at the Chelsea Celtic game at Notre Dame, and that was it for her. She just Celtic daft. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there too. Me and Chris were there for that one too. So
Were you at the linebacker?
A little bit, yeah. That night, the night of the game, we ended up at the linebacker.
Oh, you weren't there the night before when Big Thomas McEwen and some of the boys from Kearney, Chelsea fans, right? And we stopped them at the door singing. We had to explain to the cop at the door what was going on.
We missed that. Yeah, we went to the dance, the Celtic Foundation, not dance, dinner thing, at the stadium the night before, and then ended up, I forget the name of the place we ended up afterwards, but yeah, I forget.
That place?
I don't know. I can't think of what it was, but
Across the stadium, maybe the campus, the big Irish pub there.
It was an Irish pub. I don't remember.
And then we got locked in.
Yeah, we got locked in, but that was a great weekend. And that's, those are those things. And like, if you guys can pull off, like you said, like trying to get people to come into town for a little event, like if those kinds of things, we talk about that. We're trying to push those. It's going to become too much because we're like trying to create all these events and we're going to have to go to them. And our wives are going to hate us.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to New Orleans for their thing this past weekend, but I was at the World Cup. I was up in Massachusetts. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the World Cup. That's a once in a lifetime experience. I said the clubs will always have something you can float around to those, but I had to hit this. I'll be 80 by the next time it comes to the United States.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it'll be a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare that they got one so quick after 1994. Honestly,
Yeah. And I have to tell you, the Scottish did not disappoint. They did.
I know. I've seen.
They were brilliant.
Like I'm telling you, we rented an RV and stayed at a campsite 5 miles from Foxborough, and it was all Scottish support and the party there alone. I went with a coffin cooler, so I was joking around, but we had 250 cans of beer. We came home, we counted them when we got back, 35 cans left over.
Wow.
7 of us that one. But you walk around, you're getting beers from this. The flags are flying, the music's on, and the staff at that campground, they were phenomenal. They loved every minute of it. All they asked us to do is when we came back from the game, don't stop partying, just please keep the noise down.
Yeah.
So it was at a whisper, but the partying continued. That I could tell you. I slept in the driver's side because I didn't know where else to go.
I know. I've been getting a lot of the pics and videos from some of the Scottish guys in our CSC, and then some of the Scottish guys who we've had on the podcast. Like we have our little, and I'll add. I think I added you already, Steve, to our group chat. Like, and they're all posting all that stuff. And actually, I sent it to you earlier. Like David, who's been on our show a bunch of times, like was on ABC World News tonight doing a drunken interview. It was hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Good.
So yeah, I'll send that to you guys too. If he, or at least I'll throw it out into a group chat.
Like I've been to a lot of big sporting events, and I have to tell you, the volume in that stadium was ridiculous, and it was awesome. The party was absolutely fantastic. Beforehand, after, walking out was great. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't stay in Boston. But we don't regret one minute. We had the campsite. We had swimming pools. If you needed beer, they had beer. They had ice. They had a ton of amenities. They actually had horses. I'm surprised no one tried to commandeer a horse.
Stick a cone on its head.
Yeah. I'm sure the idea was in somebody's head. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, just the fact that the bars in Boston are running out of beer, which is just fucking
It's
insane.
awesome.
Like,
What?
but I mean, having drank with Scottish guys over the years, it's not surprising to see that
I
many
think
of them in
on that
town.
country.
Ed could tell you about Darcy's. Like I was at the game, but Ed, you were at Darcy's, right? And they had a
Yeah.
big crowd for Scotland.
It was
Upstairs, they put you.
yeah, we went upstairs, right? We had the upstairs to ourselves because that was the Knicks championship game downstairs. And Tommy was gracious enough to say, listen, we're putting you upstairs. You'll have all those TVs, the tables, there's a bar, and you'll have sound. And we had a couple of stragglers come up from downstairs because it was packed downstairs as well, trying to get at least one of the TVs on. And nope, go back downstairs.
So we should have put out a flyer today. I think it's coming up that we're doing another watch party, and you want to get into Darcy's for the USA game. That game starts at 3:00. You better be there at noon. Like you got to go 1 o'clock.
And it's SRO standing.
Yeah, it's standing room, and it'll be outside, inside. We're right at 6, and a lot of people will go, but we'll put it out like come and support. Like I'm definitely putting a kilt on. I'll have my USA strip on, but that kilt's going on, and I'll switch tops. I don't care what people think. I love but, I got the blood, and it's got a lot of Scottish Irish blood in me, and it is the way it is. And it's good fun.
Here.
Well, that's awesome. I guess moving on to goings on at Celtic. Like I said at the beginning, like me and Chris and who we had on, Mike and Sean last week. It was Martin O'Neill is the manager, not officially yet. Why is he not officially yet? Like, what's taking so long to actually make that happen? And it seems like the club goes on a holiday for a little bit after the season ends, which is kind of crazy. But they finally announced them the following day on Thursday last week. But now you kind of see stories of like who's going to be the staff behind them. The guys last year, Sean Maloney and Fozzie and Gavin Strachan, like what's the delay in getting that over the line? And now you're seeing even Gavin Strachan, I think, might be on his way somewhere else. But Chris, what do you think? Like, what's your thoughts? Like, how that's all playing out? And do you think it's a big deal, like at this point?
I mean, it shouldn't be a big deal, but it is, right? So, the way they rolled out the Martin announcement, okay, great. I mean, I know it was kind of funny when it rolled out the next day after last week's episode that it happened. I'm like, yeah, surely somebody listened to us and they're like, oh, we just need to announce Martin O'Neill, right? So the way that happened, sure, okay. The issue for me is some of the swirling rumors, which I know are just that, swirling rumors, but why, we can't get the back room, those guys in place, the Sean Maloney and Fozzie, and I saw today that Gavin Strachan is linked with West Brom, for like a better position. So, I mean, you may have Gavin Strachan that's already out the door, right? But yeah, no, I've heard a ton of stuff. How much of it is true, I don't know. Some streams of information sound better than others. But there was something to do with they knocked. They were wanting them to take a pay cut, and Martin O'Neill knocked them back, and then there's another story about Dermot calling Sean Maloney or whatever. Just the whole thing about getting the backroom staff just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. It just sounds like a bunch of bullshit. Like, I don't think that anybody's going to get the actual story of what's going on behind the scenes, and we're just going to get fed information when it becomes official. So I mean, take all of that with just a big grain of salt. Is what I'm kind of getting at. Is like, if there's a lot to it, and it's just a matter of they were trying to give them a cut in their pay to come back next year, like that's wrong. Just pay them whatever they're asking for, because I don't know how much Martin O'Neill's going to be able to do on his own.
Mm-hmm.
To correct everything, right?
I think
you need to have those guys that have been there that are doing those tasks that the backroom staff does, and I don't understand why it would take this long if there wasn't some of that. You know what I mean? But it's just frustrating. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, agree. I don't think I can't imagine that they would try to cut their pay. It's such. After the season you had, it optically that's just. But again,
Nonsense.
Celtic does stupid shit.
Not
optically.
out of the question. But
They have a history.
Right.
They have a history of being frugal.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you saw like the.
thing in the chat.
Go ahead, Steve.
I put that thing. I put the big thing in the group chat we have. I got that from a friend in Scotland, and I, Sanford Celtic. When you put that up, and I think it's low to pish too. I just think that other teams in Scotland, especially, the Huns and Hearts, would love for all that to be true. They love the propaganda. They think by signing McInnes and Shanklin that Celtic's afraid. McInnes is a serial loser. What has he done? Can't win a game out of 7. Should have won we had no right win in the league. Should have never won the league. What did he do? Hasn't won anywhere he's been.
Yep.
He's just a righteous. He's a bigot, and that's why they signed him, because he's a Rangers supporter. Yeah. So we're supposed to be afraid of that. So let's talk about some propaganda and some pish, and make Celtic look like it's worse than it is. But I was watching something Roy Keane had actually said about Martin O'Neill and the state of Celtic, and he was saying that if there's a man that could bridge the players, the supporters, and the board and try to get things correct, it's him. But I agree with Chris. He's 74 years old, and as much as I love him, and he's a legend, and especially after what he did last year, I probably would have liked Celtic to have moved away from him to a real solid coach and left his legacy intact, because what he does this year, if it falls off, and he doesn't have Maloney or Fozzie, who really did help get us to where we needed to go, what is he then? I mean, I'm never going to see him less than a legend. I think they should put a statue, even if it's just for what he did this year, winning the double. I mean, we don't bring in Nancy. We probably run away with the league. So it's
absolutely,
we want to see progression, maybe move away, let the man be what he is. But at the same time, Chris, I'm like you, keep the faith. I'm hoping that things get better. We're going to see a lot of exodus come out of the club with players. And I just hope we replace them the right way with the people that maybe Maloney wants and Martin wants. And we do the right thing and we start off correctly. But I also think they'll use the World Cup as a distraction as to why we haven't heard about a signing or who we're interested in, or are we keeping anybody on loan? But they forget the games are every 7 days, so the 6 days in between, the support is never going to forget. We're going to keep watching the headlines and say, okay, great, Scott playing or the other teams are playing, but what's going on with our club? Where's the signings? Where's the interest? Who are we talking about? Who are we bringing in? Who's going? We want to know all this, and because it's important for us. Because what is it, August 3rd? We have a play in the Champions League, right? That's important.
That's going to be here, that's going to be here before you know it. Like, and you're seeing other clubs in Scotland like do stuff. Like they're actually, signing players. I mean, so
I want Scott to do well, but Shanklin was terrible. I'm not afraid of Shanklin, even if they go in for Braga. Actually, Celtic should probably go get Braga just to piss off the Huns.
I would take Braga over Shanklin any day.
Same here. Oh, my one friend would love if we met. He's like, he loves Braga last year.
Well, Just from Motherwell, I don't know if you saw him in the New Zealand match. I mean, he had a brace, didn't he?
Yeah,
Mhm.
2 goals.
Like that would be a cat to sign. That
Dude,
guy.
I've been saying for months we should sign him, but now I feel like he's just gonna price himself
out
out
of
of Celtic, like,
yeah.
and like
Agreed.
scoring goals in the World Cup just
Yeah.
adds all zeros on the end of your.
For sure.
I would
Like,
love to see him get Oxlade-Chamberlain healthy and sign him. Bring in Ayacho back, who I think when healthy, I think he proved himself with some of his play there at the end, you know. But if Callum does go, if the fact that he's going, if the rumors are true, who do we replace him with? And how do you keep Engels if you get another big bid from Forest for him?
I think Ingles is a lost cause. I think he's gone.
I do too.
I see no option other than Ingles is gone, Dyson Maeda's gone, Rio Atati's gone. I mean, I think we're gonna see people leave that we haven't thought would ever leave, like Callum McGregor. And you know, whatever happens with that, you know, if they stay, great. If they don't, like, I wish them the best. But I genuinely believe that Ingles is out the door.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I do too.
I want him to stay. I think he's a good player, but I mean, it's like when we had Matt O'Reilly. I thought Matt O'Reilly was one of the best midfielders that Celtic has ever had, and I mean, he was gone like a fart in the wind. Like it happened so fast, and I think Ingles will be the same way.
Good here. O'Reilly
Yeah.
was good. There's no reason to sell him on. He was good
Agreed.
here. Some of them went away like Kyogo, mistake for Kyogo. Patate's miserable. Maybe Martin O'Neill couldn't change it. Maybe he was mismanaged, maybe by Brendan Rodgers. And he just got so unhappy that his play was just horrible. And maybe it is time for him to move on. But, you know, we need good players here. You know, Martin O'Neill's going to want good players, Maloney. And, yeah, I agree with the comment about Martin O'Neill wasn't not his style. It's got to be better.
Rodgers same way. I mean, Rodgers just got fed up. And
Yeah.
I really can't blame him. I mean, it's almost like they're a feeder club for the British Premiership. You know, you get these players, develop them, and then they're gone. And you've got money. Well, it doesn't seem like they're reinvesting it.
They're going to need to this year because they're going to get good. They're going to get really good money for Angles. They're probably going to get really good money for Dyson, and you already have money in the bank from last year. So if they don't do a big spend, look out next season.
If you're Callum McGregor, and maybe I don't know what McGregor's on, maybe 35, 40 grand a week, if that, right? And that Saudi money's legit. That's generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
He can go there, play a couple years, make 10 times, 20 times the amount of money he's making here and set up his family for the rest of their lives.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a big decision for somebody. We know that we would probably jump a job if it meant taking care of our families a lot better. You know, Celtic's in his heart, and he's a true Celtic player. But when you can take care of your family the way that money can, that's hard to say no. It's more than just football at that point.
50 grand a week is that, like, I would do a lot of things for 50 grand a week.
Yeah.
But I mean, you saw that when Tierney left to go to Arsenal, he took a lot of shit from our fans, and I think McGregor probably will get that same shit. But I mean, I understood when Tierney left, and if McGregor left, I under those circumstances, I would hate him to go to Saudi Arabia. I think that's kind of different. But
I hope all rumor. I hope that he loves it here so much. You know, when KT did the interview and said, you know, he acknowledged Callum and said how much he does for the team and what he had done. And, you know, I guess if McGregor decided to go, maybe that's an unspoken truth about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he kind of said that in an interview at the end of the season, like basically the club needs to show some ambition for me to, want to stay. And
speaking about if he's watching, we have a big thank you to KT. I have a friend in Scotland who's very good friends with KT's dad. KT pulled a solid off for the Jersey Shore CSC. He signed an Arsenal jersey and a Celtic jersey, and I'll be presenting it to Tommy, the owner. And there's photographs of him with the jersey.
That's awesome.
The boys came over for the World Cup, and we missed Tommy today by a few minutes. But Friday, Tommy's going to get both shirts and the photographs to go with them. And we talked to the bar manager. They're going to try to find a good spot for him, get them framed up, and put them up. It's awesome.
Cool. That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm a big Tierney fan. My dog is named after him. So and I think I was the first person, maybe the first Celtic fan to have
a KT jersey.
Jersey.
That's right.
Like I had when he was like 18, and he was actually followed me on Twitter, and like was like I was sending him pictures because I bought one for me and one for each of my kids, and when I got it, actually it was the next year. I'm like, are you gonna keep number 63? And he's like, yeah, I'm planning on it. And I was like, I just bought jerseys for my kids. And he's like, oh, send me pictures. And
yeah, it's awesome.
So he's a good dude, and I think obviously like those guys are important to the club, like the McGregors and Tierneys, and the one guy, Rubber Duck. This is a joke, but it's like guys like Ralston too.
Hold on now. Ed,
Tony Ralston.
you don't believe this. Ed is a huge Ralston supporter, man. He gets dogs.
I'm not.
He's got the only Ralston jersey in the United States that he wears every game.
That's awesome.
I'm not knocking him. I am one who always. I mean, I defend him to a point. He is what he is, but even if a backup right back, I think he's solid. He was like the third or fourth right back on our
Celtics
squad this year, and like
you
can't go wrong
with him.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
Right.
He serves a purpose. He takes a lot of shit from the support. I mean, some people outright blame him week in and week out, and like those are people who just don't get it. Like it's like you need guys like that in your side. Like you're not gonna have all superstars at your first 11 and backup 11. Like you need those guys who are going to work hard. If like they're not starters, they're going to work hard. He gets the club, grew up with the club. Like those are guys who are massively important to the side. And I think I wouldn't mind having him back. I mean, he's got
a great haircut for the World Cup. He looks smashed.
Every club needs their talisman.
Yeah, but his work rate is what carries him, and that's what every good club has to have is those guys that just they work. That they're a workhorse.
That's true. He scored some big goals over the years too.
Yeah, he'll get you a big goal.
Yeah.
Never throws in the trowel. I love
it. That's good.
Well done, Rubber Duck. Well done.
I mean, then you saw that. I mean, just going back to like the backroom staff, you saw that there was rumors of Efren Juarez, our old player, coming on as an assistant and then maybe to be manager next year, and that's what kind of shit. It's just fucking silly season. Some of the shit and then supposedly he got hired as a manager in Hungary. You don't know what to believe at this point. And
I had heard through friends in Scotland that they really were talking to Roberto Martinez, and Maloney was one of those pieces to get there. If he was going to make a decision before or even during the World Cup, that this would be it, and bring him in. I think his wife's from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
She's got family there. Wow, that would be a great signing. I just think he would be a consistent, steady coach. But let's see. Maybe he just likes coaching Portugal too much. I don't know. Maybe the weather's better.
Yeah, and I hate waiting. I mean, but you got Martin for a year at this point.
Well,
we got to get. We need signings. You got to get to work. We need something. The Celtic support needs something. We need something done so that we know it's moving in the positive direction. because
Yeah.
if we get to even the end of this group stage and we haven't re-signed or retaken a loan, like I thought Srirachi would have been like a priority after what he did even in 10 minutes. I thought the guy was great coming off the bench for KT this year. He would have been one of my first. Even Araujo would have been nice. Araujo with AJ healthy. That's a guy maybe you could push up and play on the wing a little bit. I don't know. But we'll see.
I think AJ may be another one that will get the eyes of other people too. That I don't want AJ to go, but I think that AJ is going to turn heads in the World Cup, and it's almost like you have to prepare for a backup to a backup, right? So like, if you could get Srirachi and you have Srirachi and KT at left, okay, I'm comfortable with that. But you need to go have another right back like a Araujo. If AJ gets pulled, in another direction and he's gone, and like your only right back at this point would be Colby Donovan and Anthony Ralston.
Tony Ralston?
Yeah, and I mean,
come on.
I would like to keep those guys, but like, I mean, this is that ambition that we were just talking about, that you've got to get players that are of that caliber, the AJs, the Arajos. I'm 100% with you with Srirachi. I thought Srirachi was brilliant pretty much every time he was on.
Yeah.
Like he was all over the pitch, and he made great passes. He was intense. He's exactly what you want out of a left back. And the fact that guy just like casually goes back to Argentina, it's just super frustrating.
Yeah.
How we let that talent just go back.
I think that's going to be a big miss.
I think they thought
too.
Celtic thought too, which would be a mindset of Desmond, Thurman. It's you got Carter Vickers coming back, but how good is he going to be? How many lower body injuries can he take?
Mm-hmm.
A Jota now, who we're going to get Jota, great electric player, man, fantastic, but now set back to October maybe. Like he's not even going to be there for the qualifying. It's a huge loss for us. That's a long time to be out. It's a long time to come back fit. It's a long time to get up to game speed and get that technical ability back on track. He's a fantastic player, but when do we see him at 100%? January after the break, maybe? There's a lot of questions there.
Yeah, I mean he was hardly he played a little bit for us last year, and before that he didn't play for like a year. So that's a long time to be out, like 2.5 years out of 3. Like that's it's hard to come back from that to get back to a high level player that he was before he went out.
Good thing he took that money in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, he got the generational wealth. So
I was a guy that like Steve. I don't understand why Stephen Welsh wasn't brought back or given a chance. Like, what was the problem there that he's away now? Like a good young player that we maybe could have developed a little bit. Like, I mean, I thought he did well for Motherwell, and now he's away.
Yeah,
with question marks at center back, like Austin Trusty. Trusty's either the player of the game or he's not.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd be curious.
They have 4 center backs probably are ahead of Welsh right now. So you figure they're going to be in the market to bring in I would think they'll spend decent money on at least one center back, like a $6 to $8 million, £8 million player at that position. Then I think that moves Welsh even further down the line. And I agree, he's good to have. He's another one of those guys who get Celtic, like came up through Celtic. But I can kind of see why they let him go, let him walk out the door.
Well, a post today who were linked to that kid Campbell, the American kid he was on loan at the time from Dortmund. He wants out of Dortmund. Celtics linked with him. And then I started laughing. I'm having coffee with my cousin this morning as he's packing up, and we're linked. Adam Eda's coming back. I was like,
No.
yeah.
That's the typical. That's because I think Celtic fans are lazy too in terms of like we're just like the board. Like we just regurgitate old names.
Like, oh,
and
Diogo's coming back.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Paul's lazy, but take Lagerbielke back. But he would probably cost a lot of money now to bring back. Like whereas we had him, and now he's kind of moved on. And where I forget where did he end up?
I don't know.
I know we played against him, but he's starting for Sweden in the World Cup. Like so, he's obviously a
good player.
Good player. But
there's teams in for Nygren too. Like aren't there teams that want? Like he frustrates me. I think he's tough between the 18s, but he gets that goal. He frustrates me so much. That's my head in. But then he gets inside the 18 and he scores one of those timely goals, and you're like, oh, like he doesn't. He's not physical, and for me, that's not like Scottish football. And if there's some team that wants to pay a boatload of money for him, I would take that. But you can't get $10 million for a player and then use 3 of it.
Right.
Or to go get his report.
Yeah,
that's the frustrating part. I mean, how many of us go online, buy the new tops, and I know there's always the boycott, but we do it anyway. Christmas. I mean, I got to spend $1,200-1,300 a year on Christmas just on Celtic stuff. Easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this one up for Chris because I've been trying to get it on, but another rubber duck nailing the Tony Ralston Bricky pun, but
really cements the fence. Fantastic. Wow. It's phenomenal.
But yeah, and then Paul, like Braga. I think Braga would be a great move.
Rubber duck. I'm going to use that in the corner wearing the shirt.
I didn't even realize he never throws it. I thought he said never throws in the towel when I posted it. And I didn't even read it. But then I'm like, throws in the trowel. I'm like, fuck, I missed that. That was good. But yeah, I mean, go ahead. We pile into one corner of Darcy's. I mean, it spreads out because we have so many people, but the core of the guys that started the club, we pile into one corner, and we're quiet. Like, we do talk a little bit, but we watch that game, but we get a good laugh. We do halftime, end of the game, we get a good laugh. Or there's a comment made mid-game, and Rubber Duck, come out and join us in the corner because we would love to have you. I don't know where he is. I'm guessing he's Scotland, but I know he's been on in the comments before.
Everybody loves masonry jokes.
But yeah, so I mean that's what it is. I feel like there's so many questions about who's going out the door. It's almost becomes tough for the club to say who we're gonna bring in the door.
After, right.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, Rubber Ducks in Glasgow. I was right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it kind of, but at the same time, I think a well-run club always has those things planned out. Like, all right, if we're losing this guy, we have a list of 6 or 7 guys we could replace him with. And I don't think we're that club. We're not that forward thinking. And
but in order for those things that you want to feel good about them, right? You got to get the backroom staff done.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that needs to happen that I'm waiting for that to happen. Once that happens, right? And you've got Martin O'Neill's got the rest of his staff in place, I'm going to feel better just in general that there's at least managers and player and places that players can go to say, you're my manager, go take laps or whatever it is, right? Like there's somebody in charge at Celtic that you can pick up the phone and go, hey Martin, what's the plan here? And Fozzie or Sean Maloney or whoever can at least have a connection with the players that are not involved with the World Cup, that things are still happening behind the scenes, but nothing happens until you get that backroom staff done.
Yeah. I mean, I find it hard to believe Martin would sign on if Fozzie and Maloney aren't involved. Like,
Agreed.
Because he's such a stand-up guy. I think I'd see him walk away before that. If the rumors are true that they're offering pay cuts and he cursed Sean Maloney out on the phone and Maloney put the phone down because his kids were in the car, and then Maloney went to Peter Lawl's house afterwards to speak to him about what to do, I find it hard to believe Martin O'Neill signs a contract without his support staff.
Agreed.
He's a very little guy. He showed it in the past, wherever he's been managing. And I just think I think he's not going to sign that contract if he doesn't have his staff in place. And maybe he is there to maybe tell Desmond, we need this guy and this guy and this guy, sporting director, scout. These are the players that we need in. We have to play a different style. We have to replace this. We're going to make the Champions League. You want to compete. Think of the money. We should have beat Bayern twice, right? I think right. I'm like every Celtic supporter beating him. You get through that stage, the money that comes in. I find it hard to believe a good businessman that runs any business doesn't want to advance and make that money. If Desmond, and I'm not saying I like him or I support him, I'm just saying my belief would be if it's that bad, then get with the board. And I know it's shares, but we know that the cover of shares is for tax purposes. Sell the club. Sell it on. Get out from under it. Let somebody who wants to put the money into it and get behind the support and get behind the team and see them advance and be better and get through the. Just sell it and walk away. Make your money. Take your money. Go walk away. Take your kid who loves the shit on the support and go away. Just leave. And let us have our club and give it to somebody who feels like we do.
Well, that would be celebrated. I mean,
wildly,
yes, you're right. I mean, just because I don't know if and like you said, I don't know if Martin comes back if he doesn't have his backroom staff kind of lined up. But I also think if Martin doesn't come back, if he doesn't have absolute guarantees that the club is going to shell out money on the playing side this year, and not just, if we're losing like the players we talked about, like Engels and Dyson and maybe Alistair Johnson, Rio Hatate, like there's a lot of guys who are leaving who could bring in a little bit of money. Like even like Rio was, pretty invisible most of the season. The one thing I think the Celtic, they do well at is getting decent money back for those guys who leave.
True.
And so that makes you say, all right, maybe we do get even decent money for Hatate if he leaves. So that's a lot of money to spend, but it's a lot of positions that need to be replaced. So it's going to, I think, almost one of the biggest spending years we've had. I can
in well over 10 years.
I mean, outside of probably 20 years ago when they were like getting Chris Suttons and spending the same money we spend now 20 years ago on players. But
in fairness, when they spend that money, which they should because of the support, we put it right back in the club. The supporters put it right back in the club. They
every
do.
Time. Every time.
Look at the gear they come out with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the gear they come out with. And you hesitate to buy it because it's going to be on sale, but the support widely goes out and just buys. And remember the tags used to say, that's money back to the club. Where?
Right.
When they won the championship, my buddy was over, our buddy Thomas went over because he's got seasons. He wasn't going to miss the Heart game, went into the superstore to get the shirt. They didn't have it ready. Why weren't the shirts printed? If it's never been that way.
Yeah.
I was pissed off. Always bring me a shirt. I didn't get a shirt.
Who will buy our club? The mess, and it's true. We're probably a mess. We're probably a mess, and
all interested.
Yeah, that would work out right.
The Celtics.
Somebody out somebody out there would buy it and get it organized quick. You get the right people in place.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we've talked about it. Like, that's kind of been our thing in our this is our 50th episode, which is fucking crazy. But there's something magical about Celtic. Like, it's like storybook shit happens, and you saw it this season. It was like for the amount of games that those late winners and the way the game ended at Hearts, like, that's the kind of shit that happens with Celtic, and you got to believe that somebody would want a part in that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's the Boston Celtics, and I don't know if I would want that because I hate the Celtics, but as a Philly guy, but you feel like there's somebody there.
Yeah. And Chris, I'm like you, and I'm sure there's many like us. I'm a realist. I see what's going on, but at the same time, too, I try to keep the faith and say, you know what? It'll turn around. It'll come back. The support is too important. Celtic supporters are too important. And I know people comment on this, but I do believe it in my heart. Celtic support is too important to just absolutely keep letting them down, because at some point, there's strong support that will stand out. And, you know, the other thing in the split, they don't get credit. The cross behind me, that's a Green Brigade cross that was given to me by a friend in Scotland who's part of it. They come back and they create an atmosphere. Whether you love them or you don't, they create an atmosphere. And there's guys there that through and through and through. There's bad inside good and good inside bad. And for whatever the comments are, when you're in that stadium and they're in that corner, the tifos come up and the songs are being sung and the atmosphere is being created, that affects the players. That absolutely
100%.
Players.
Yeah.
I have coached a very long time. You know, I've been lucky enough in the academy side to win a few New Jersey State Cups, and even when they're friends and their family and people come out, even for young games, and you got 200-300 people watching them and they're behind them, the players, you know. And you could see it in that Hearts game. It just didn't stop. Even after they scored, it didn't stop. You know, we felt it in the bar. You know, we get that goal, we come back and we level. And after that, to me, it was like, all right, I think we're okay. We're going to do this, you know? And I was screaming 2 months ago how important goal differential is. Like, we got to get goal differential. And it rears its ugly head in that game, you know? But in the end, you think about that tackle at the top of the 18 that springs Osmond. I think there was nobody on there that was sitting at the bar. Everybody was on their feet, hands up, because that's it right then and there. Yeah. That's it. Right. That 2-1 and they're putting pressure. That's it right then and there. And we've come back in an impossible season. And I believe, like you're saying, magical club, that's the mystique. We can't let that go. You just can't let that go. We deserve it as supporters. The supporters, you know, that you know, you talk about the people that live in Scotland and Glasgow, and my cousins that left, and the friends are all Celtic, you know, men, and they were talking. We were all talking about it at breakfast this morning, like, what's to be done? What would you do? What are we looking to see? We all said the same thing. Something's got to happen quick. It's got to happen quick. You know, we got to get going. We got to get moving. Or else what do we have? It's around the corner, you know, and I just feel like we're too important and we deserve better.
Agreed.
Here.
All right, Chris, this is for you. I mean, when did we ever say this is the last show?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think that we ever said that. Did we?
I don't think so.
Maybe the last game the last show that Dr. J was going on.
I may have seen something. This is the last show. Maybe the last show in a month.
Last show of the season before we move into our off-season mode. I don't know.
Are we officially in off-season?
We are in off-season mode right now, but
that's cool. World Cup mode.
World Cup mode, Celtic. Now, like, Andrew, he's always with us every week. He's watching the World Cup instead of watching us. So,
Sevco does think that the 49ers are going to save him. The 49ers are about analytics. once they get a look what's going on up there. Listen, no 49ers in charge of anything if you hire Derek McInnes as your manager. And you know from being here, maybe they don't get it. The 49ers organization is tops. Even when they're shit, they're good. Even when they got a shit team, they're good. They're tough to play out there. No
True.
way they buy a team and pour money into a, somebody in Scotland's making decisions they don't know about if you're hiring Derek McInnes.
Yeah, I saw England won today.
Hold on. Why would there not be a show of post U.S. Australia? I could care less if the U.S. advance in the World Cup.
Yeah, there will definitely be a show next week. We already got it planned out, so
yeah,
we're having some boys on from Charleston, South Carolina next week. So
nice. Good time. Great parade.
Yeah, I was just busting on you, Dr. J. I love you. You know that. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. So in terms of the World Cup, and I had a few notes, like just in terms of, and the one I had down was Elijah Just, and we did talk about him earlier in terms of like he's one guy who I've wanted. I think he would make a massive difference in the Celtic midfield, and now I feel like he's just slipped through our hands. And you saw, I think Chris Sutton posted like on social media about like it was a lost opportunity for Celtic to not sign him before the World Cup, but
yep,
guys don't sign before like he knows not to sign before the World Cup because like Elijah Just, like that's his opportunity to really make a killing in the transfer market and get to as big a club as he can possibly get and make as much money as he possibly can get. So I mean, I don't blame the club for missing out on that, and outside of putting in a bid for him in the January transfer market last year, but that was still that would have been tough. So hopefully we can pull it off. But now I feel like he's getting up into that like 8 to 10 million pound kind of player that Celtic just doesn't put the money in for, and particularly coming from Motherwell, they're like yeah, nah, like they wouldn't do that for like Lennon Miller and any guys from any of those teams, like Kieran Bowie coming from Hibs. Let him go.
You mean like the extra $1 million or $2 million for a John McGinn?
Yeah,
you're right.
But
there's
an Adamita, I mean, that's a head scratcher to me.
There's plenty of examples of it, like over the years, and
I'm shocked they spent the money on Engels, not knowing coming in, but
yeah, and they'll make money on it. So hopefully they learn, like if you're gonna spend money on those guys, like,
and they're big on the sign, the pass on clause, the sell on clause.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a boatload of money off Virgil, right? They made some money off Dembele. I mean,
yeah, we've consistently sold players at like a premium for, I mean, at least 15 years of players of good caliber that I don't remember how much Wanyama went for, but when Wanyama left, it was like 20 million quid or something, right?
Around there.
It was a lot of money.
It was right around there, yeah.
And then you look at like what Virgil's done, post Celtic. I mean, it's remarkable to me that we were able to see Virgil before he became Virgil van Dijk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like to go back to that season with the yellow kits, was that 14? To go back to that time and think about how Virgil van Dijk, we thought he was going to be at Celtic for a long time, or at least I did, because he was just such a player. And then, we turn around and sell him and he goes to, Liverpool and making hundreds of millions of dollars and all of this stuff. And you go, man, why can't we just keep some of that talent Glasgow?
Yeah, I was right. I said once, I was like, maybe it was 12, and Dr. J was right. That's what
12 and a half. My bad,
yeah.
Dr. J.
Yeah,
I'm terrible at remembering that shit.
Thinking somebody else.
Still,
And that's another guy like for South Korea.
Same.
And he's another guy like I kind of saw a player in him when he was here, but I understood like why he left, and they got like I guess like a decent return in terms of a guy who really wasn't playing for them, but like I mean
some players can't play.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he could have played like he had the personality to play here.
Yeah.
He had like he was just, and that's always the one thing you notice about him. He was always like a striker who is absolutely desperate to score goals. That was like, whereas we don't like. I'm just thinking in terms of the guys we brought in, like Shvanchara. You don't get that vibe from him, but like
No.
was like or Ida or anybody like that, like, and now I think you're seeing it from him now that he's like kind of a international level kind of striker. And but at the time it was maybe just poor timing.
Best in some players.
Yeah, I mean it's probably just bad timing that he was here at the time he was, where Kyogo was scoring a ton of goals and now
didn't Tenecti play well? Didn't Tenecti play well when they?
Yeah,
he played pretty good.
With Tunisia.
Yeah, he came in late.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like
I think like I'm a big believer. Like we recruit guys into the college that we do endless amounts of film on from Europe, and then we bring them here, and it's like, oh my God, what do we do? And it's a motivational factor. Head game, they don't like the weather, they don't like this, they don't like that, and it's like, dude, we brought you here to play football. Like, we shouldn't have to motivate you to want to play. You should love it so much that you play. And it's all right. We made a mistake, and we recruited the wrong guy. I can't imagine it doesn't happen professionally. It's a shame to see his decline from when we got him. He was fantastic. Now it's like you can see it on his face. Like he just doesn't want to be here. He just doesn't want to do it. It's a shame.
Yeah, that's what, and I agree with Strangelove. I think he says it perfectly. And I think a lot of that probably was Brendan Rodgers at the time, who kind of stunted a lot of those guys who maybe now could be our studs for us. Like
we've talked about it previously that was all Ange Postecoglou players, and when those players never got replaced, that's what happens.
Yep.
Hey, bud.
Ange had a good way with motivating players to never stop, and that different style of play. That was a night. Listen, Ange was excellent. Ange was excellent. He left, and we didn't want him to leave, and then he does what he does at Tottenham, and then the Tottenham gives him the shaft, and they're lucky they even stayed up.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the numbers were no better than what Ange was putting up, and I love the interview with him. Like, everybody thinks it's a big team, but it's not a big team. Got a beautiful stadium, but they're not a big team.
No,
I mean, Daniel Levy ate through the best managers the world had to offer, and they still didn't win.
Yeah, but so I think the moral of the story is like
we need to invest in players.
Yes, we have a lot of work to do. That's that was my moral, and I think we're both on the same page there.
Instead of promoting how nice the new top is, which it's a nice top.
Yeah, and we'll see that tomorrow.
Let's invest
can't
in
wait.
who you're putting in that top. We can enjoy the season.
But I mean, then do you have the faith that Celtic can accomplish that? So I guess I'll throw that out before we wrap up tonight. Ed, you first. Like, do you have the faith that Celtic will replenish this year? Whether it's replenishing what in terms of now, or even replenishing after we get rid of the guys we were going to get rid of.
I thought round 2 of Rodgers, he had been assured. And obviously, they didn't spend the money. I mean, it just went into the bank account, and now you've got spots to replace, and you're waiting until the end of the transfer, and then it just all falls apart. with Martin O'Neill, I'm hoping that he's asking for assurances and proof before he signs that it's going to be different this time. I mean, it's almost like it's an ongoing story with this team. They get the big bucks, and then they don't turn around and spend it. So, I mean, I love Martin O'Neill. He's my favorite Celtic manager of all, since I've been following the club. And what he did this past season, righting the ship after the disaster that Nancy brought upon the team, I'm hoping that's the reason, and I'm hoping he gets the assurances that they're going to spend the money. And because we're going to lose a lot. I think we're going to lose a lot this year. Yeah, and that's all I have to say.
Chris, how about you?
I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I mean,
you're right. I mean,
I want to be optimistic. Do I think that we will reinvest? Yes. Will it be enough? I don't know. I mean, a lot of it is who's going out the door, right? And that kind of would tell you how much you need to reinvest and whether or not they would be willing to pull the trigger. I honestly, Dermot Desmond doesn't have my phone number. He's not going to ask me my opinion of it. But I'm hopeful that Martin O'Neill is able to get that across. So I mean, that's the only person really I've got to put any faith in that we're going to get the players that we need in the squad. So I mean, if that's what I've got to go off of, then yes, we will definitely do it. But question marks still abound.
Yes. And like Dr. J's comment is 100% true. And I think we kind of broached it a little bit. Like, if you buying guys like Engels and spending that money and then being able to sell them on, why not do that more? And we never do that. We have never really even attempted that kind of strategy to spend bigger money. And this season, we had that money to probably able to maybe not 5 or 6 guys, but a couple, and then maybe you can sell those on for bigger money if they do, play well. Steve, I'll throw that last question to you before we wrap up. What's your confidence level that the board actually?
Well, they're going to bring in players. That's sure, right? They're going to bring in players, or the players that we want. I highly doubt. Cross our fingers that the players that they do bring in will shock us, maybe excite us. I want to believe that Martin O'Neill was given assurances that they'll stand by. That's why he came back. I want to believe that a lot of it's propaganda and pish. We're hearing how disorganized they are, but we know they're disorganized. They want to recoup the money from Nancy. I think that's a priority, recoup the money. That was a rash decision. It was quick. When the board came out in the sideline and you saw that going on, and I get it, he's got great ideas, but 3-5-2 is a hard formation to play. You got to have the horses. We didn't have the horses. So you go through them 2 months, and they're going to want that money back that they spent on him to send him away. Mm-hmm. And who do we get? Do we have 2 players that we can make $50 million off of? Engels, and who else do you sell? And out of the 50, what are they going to spend? 10? Pocket the 40?
It's got to be more this season. It can't. It can't be that.
I would think.
You'd think. They want to qualify. You think they want the Champions League money and everything it brings to Celtic, that you buy a few. You replace them with good, solid players. Maybe spend a little bit more on some better guys. Use a little bit of the base we have. Maybe try to talk, if the rumors are true again about McGregor, keep him here. I'm going to be optimistic and say maybe we're shocked at what we kick off with in August, and maybe we feel better about what we kick off when the league starts. But we won't know. The fixtures come out tomorrow. And when the fixtures come out tomorrow, maybe that's another factor why they've waited a little bit. Who knows? I'd love to see Martin's wish list. I really would love to see Martin's wish list and see where it goes from there. And that would be an easy comment to make, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
I mean, just throwing up Strange One's comment. Like, is Martin that guy who's a scout who knows players? I don't think he is.
No.
I think we need a
Director of football
who's scouting all over the world and has ideas and lists of 5 or 6 players at least at every position that we can bring in. But I don't think we don't have that.
Right?
Yeah.
It was good and then it fell apart. I mean, I don't think Rod hit on everybody. He hit on a few, but not everybody.
Yeah. And Strange, I know I'm being harsh, but my point stands. It's true. And I hate being that. Like it is. And I don't know. I don't want to end up on a negative note, but I don't know. I feel like
I don't want to believe I just don't want to believe my team is going to go shit.
Yeah.
But in the end, I think we'll win the league next year. And probably a cup or maybe 2. Yeah. But it may be ugly, and I don't know. I honestly, I think the goal has always got to be to win the league. But I think we need to at least have a little more, not necessarily even progression, but be more competitive in Europe. And I think that will satisfy a large portion of the support, including myself.
Like a Celtic revival.
Yes. We can't be knocked out by Kairat Almaty or a team at that level again. That's that just and like it can't it just can't happen.
I had dents in my forehead from hanging it on the bar.
That was just pissing away money. Losing that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question. When you got to the end of the season, we won, we beat Hearts. How emotionally stressful was the last 7 weeks?
It was, it was. Right? It was very stressful. It was fun. I mean, it was still, and I still say this was I can't even say almost, the most fun I had.
Can you do it again?
Celtic was this season. I don't know if I can do it again though. And I said that all season long, like even before the last 7 weeks, it was, I don't know if I am on blood pressure medication. I'm on high cholesterol, and my doctor's gonna have to up it if it goes on again next season. So it was a lot, and I mean you felt it, the stress every week. Like it was. I don't know if I can do it again, but
I could probably do it again. Do I want to? No. But that's probably more of my own mindset of that, keep the faith, everything's going to be all right. Let's just keep on chopping wood and you're going to be okay.
Well, one thing we know for sure, the Celtic support always shows up for good or bad.
That's right.
We back up and we wear it on our sleeve. It's in our heart. And I love when I meet supporters from all over and the positivity they bring, even with the negativity during the games, which is rightfully so. I hope for everyone's sake we have a good season. I really do.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And Milky Moo's right. We're probably going to be having a very similar conversation next week when we're on with the Charleston boys. Just where are we at?
It's all good.
It's probably not going to be much change as to where we're at. So, but it'll be we'll make it fun. We'll try to make it fun. But
hope so.
Yeah. So I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you, Steve and Ed, for coming on.
Absolutely, 100%.
It was. I know we've been trying to make it happen for a while, and so I'm glad we finally did.
It was good. It was
great.
Fun. Absolutely.
Come on down the shore.
Yeah,
I will.
You mean up to the shore? I've got a long way to go.
History that sells a tank top. We're working on a tank top.
I love it. You should get some. What are those like? Those rafts that you can ride the waves on.
Boogie board.
Yeah, boogie board. That's it.
It's a good idea, Chris.
That's a good idea.
I'm just saying.
I'll bring one of those down to Wildwood.
All about merchandise.
Yeah, well, merchandise.
That's getting deep into the merch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing. I know, like I said, I know it's hard, like getting a club up and running, but you guys seem like you're doing just an unreal job getting it up and moving fast, which is great. And it's great to build something.
That's Steve.
What you guys are doing with the podcast too, it's excellent. It gets the voice out there. It spreads it and lets everybody know who's got something going where. And the more and more traction you guys get, the more and more traction we get as supporters clubs. And that's why I was so eager to come on, because you guys are doing you're doing the right thing, man. It's a positive thing, especially in the United States, to get the exposure out there and get everybody out there to have a conversation. I hope you don't have the same conversation with the Charleston boys. Maybe it's about one or two.
I seriously doubt it.
No, we will always drift into negativity.
Yeah.
We'll always rotate back to positivity.
Yes, that's our goal.
One quick funny story. We're walking around New York City the other day, and I got my boy Oakridge Glasgow with me, and I take him into St. Patrick's. Take out about 9 singles and I throw them in. I'm lighting candles. I said, I said, that's for my mom. I said, this is for a good friend of mine who passed away. And this one's for Celtic, that we do the right thing. I said, so get your money in the bin. I said, and let's light some candles for Celtic, that we're on the right path, So.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I love it.
But yeah, so yeah, thanks, and we'll get you guys on, and once the season starts rolling around. I think we've had so many guys on over, like this tonight was our 50th episode, which is
awesome.
Great. It's crazy that we've done this many shows. I don't know if we when we started it, we thought we would be doing it. Like,
you got to do live shows, like from the Philly Fail. Come down, we'll do live shows from the.
We actually talked about doing this, but we we have to work on the technology aspect of it, because I know I'm not.
That and the amount of pints that you drink when you're at the Philly Fail.
Yeah,
that's kind of an issue.
My kids had these microphones. My daughter hooked them up to the bar. She's like, "We have podcast microphones that we'll plug in the computer." I'm like, "Where did we get those?" Just don't ask questions. Just let me hook it up. I'm like,
all right, we might hire her for.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll come do one at the at Darcy's one time. That'd be fun.
$35 to park to see a match at the Plow is it's a lot of money.
Oof.
30, where'd you pay that? Where at? I've never paid that much, but
One of the matches that wasn't on Celtic TV, I don't know. I think
I'm not doubting that there's something like that down there, but yeah. I mean,
unless you find something on the street.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do.
$35.
we'll take the train and ride the bike, Ed. Fuck it.
Yeah, or fly and take an Uber, and then you get dropped off at the hotel and just walk to the pub. That's the easiest.
So Chris, 50 episodes, great job. It's
awesome.
Been fun. Cheers.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it, and let's keep it going, and we'll get more guys on. 50 more, and then just keep going from there. But next week we got Matt and Brian from Charleston, who come highly recommended from our boy Connor, who runs the Charleston CSC. So I'm looking forward to chatting with them next week. If you can, give a like and subscribe to the channel. So, I mean, it helps the channel. There's other shows on this channel. We're the only one going right now because we're the only one keeping it going in the off season. But yeah, so it helps everybody find the shows, and like we're always on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time over here. And obviously in the comments we get, tons of guys from over in Glasgow, Australia, all over the place, and it's awesome. And the comments help feed the show. So thank you guys in the comments for keeping things rolling. So again, thanks Steve and Ed for coming on. Chris, I'll see you next week. And cheers. We'll see you next week.
Hell,